What's up, Weirdlings? Hi, my name is Danielle, and today we are going to be using Jyn Erso from Rogue One as inspiration to talk about shading with Copic. I'm really excited. Mark, our amazing producer here at the Weirdlings, is actually the person who requested this video from me, so thank you, Mark. I thought it would be really fun to do Rogue One since that's coming out this week. Let's get started! So as I said, we are doing Jyn Erso from Rogue One, and let me tell you, I had a really hard time getting a likeness of her going in this drawing in the first place, so I did not film the sketch or inking process for this. It took me a really long time to get this part of the drawing set in a place where I liked it, so I'm sorry about that, but this just gives us more time to talk about Copic markers. I love color theory, and one of the things that I try to do whenever I'm looking at colors is think of where they sit on the color wheel within themselves. For example, let's take green. You can have a really yellow green that's like lime or almost fluorescent or something like that, or you can have a really blue green that's super deep and dark like kelp or, like dark algae or deep dark parts of the sea, things like that. So all of those spectrums are covered just because you added either more yellow or more blue to the green. So I try to think about all kinds of different colors this way. Whenever I look at gray, I try to see, is that a red gray or a blue gray? Or is it a yellow gray? What kind of undertones are going on there so that you can figure out what's happening? And here in the beginning, I'm just using the lightest colors that I can to figure out what's going on, where things should be laid out, and what undertones should happen. So I'm deciding if things are more yellow or more blue and adding those things accordingly. Another thing is that I really enjoy light sources, so what you want to do is figure out where your light source is going to come from. Then whenever you've established your light source, you address that by leaving the lightest parts light and then working out the darkest parts. This particular piece seems like it's got both a front and a back light, sort of, so I did a little bit of that reflected in the hair, and I tried to keep things pretty balanced on all sides, but still have a little bit of weight and shadow where I felt it appropriate, especially in the scarf blowing up in the wind, which was really fun. I try really hard to blend as easily as I can by using quick strokes on the Copic markers with the blending nib. That's the one that's shaped kind of like a paintbrush, and it's really amazing and super helpful for the light tones and things. Whenever you're using dark tones or covering a huge area or something like that, then I recommend using the chisel tip on the other end. You'll see me using that in a little while, or on a couple different parts too, but I try to use the brush tip as much as possible, which means that the brush tip on my markers goes out faster. I really love working with hair, so whenever I'm in this area, I try to leave the line work as minimalistic as possible and use my deeper tones to make as much of the harsher lines as I can, because I really enjoy using color, depth, and value in order to establish the way that the hair is moving and how everything is working around itself. So that's what I tried to do here, and as you can see, I laid in the yellows and the light parts first, and then I built up layers and layers and layers, working back in as I saw fit and where I needed in order to make sure that the shadows were all doing well. So I think this turned out super great, and her hair was probably one of the finer points of this. I really enjoyed that. One thing that I noticed while I was doing this was that I was running out of my grays, which was a travesty because this piece in particular was so gray heavy, and I would have lightened up a lot of things. I wouldn't have had things be quite so dark. I did try to counterbalance that by using colored pencils and gel pens in order to shade or lighten wherever I felt it necessary, so that we were able to lighten up those tones and kind of keep things up and vibrant. The darker things are, the heavier they're gonna feel, and even though she seems like she's got a lot on her mind, she doesn't feel like weighed down. She feels strong and empowered, but like she does have a mission that she is very intent on. I really enjoyed doing the eyes here, and using the gel pen I was able to get a really nice effect and shine to reflect the kind of color that she has, because her eye color is super duper unique. So I hope in watching the way that I do this, you'll be able to see it since it's a little bit difficult to explain, but basically you identify the point of shine where the little light is coming from, and you highlight just beneath that in a swooping motion so that it crests with the colored part of your eye, and it just creates a super nice little highlight on the underside. You don't want to do it on the top because that part needs to be darker since it's under the eyelid. That creates kind of a shadow and gives a little bit of depth to everything, which is a hint for drawing eyes. Also, I didn't do it here really because it's such a small space, but whenever you're drawing eyes, if you use a light blue and put it on the very tops underneath where the eyelid is, then it gives that shadow too, and it makes eyes look more realistic. Since your eyes aren't super stark white, there's actually variants in color in there. Guys, I hope that this shading tutorial was super helpful and, maybe a little bit informative. Hopefully you learned something new about Copic markers and how to work with them today, and let me know if you want me to draw any other fandom things. I had so much fun drawing Star Wars. Don't forget to go check out our store over at dftba.com. Click our circle swear cap button to subscribe, or check out my other video right here. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!